Hi everybody, this is JJ Long from JJArtworks, and welcome to episode 9 of our podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. In this week's episode, I'm actually really excited because I want to talk about creativity, like this whole entire episode. I have no idea how long this episode's going to last. I know you guys don't have a lot of time, so I try to keep these short as much as humanly possible, but then at the same time, it's like I still need to express myself, and I want to give myself enough time to get my feelings out there and kind of get my message out there. So I will just talk for as long as I need to, I guess. And if you could listen as long as you can, that'd be great. So in this week's episode, I'm really excited to talk about creativity because last week I kind of had a breakthrough week as far as discovering that I really need to be honoring my artistry. I need to be honoring the artist inside of myself. So this past week, after I had that revelation last week, this past week I've been really focusing on how to bring about my art back into my life while at the same time trying to balance running the business. And I had a ton of fun trying to figure out, what art form do I really want to focus on right now? Do I focus on everything at once, and do I kind of slowly chisel away at different projects that I want to do, or do I just kind of go all in with one creative outlet? Do I just focus on film? Do I just focus on music? Do I just focus on painting or writing? How do I, what do I focus on basically? And I was also kind of concerned about, if I do focus on everything, does that mean I have shiny object syndrome? Am I kind of spreading myself too thin? How many hours a week can I afford to work on my creativity? Do I work on my creativity every day? Do I do it a couple days every week? Do I just do a hyper-focused 8-hour day on a Saturday or a Sunday? These are all the questions I was kind of asking myself this past week. And I did a lot of research. I actually watched a lot of TED Talks. I was on YouTube a lot, just trying to, troubleshoot, how does an artist schedule their day? And I know that sounds kind of crazy because I've been an artist for over 15 years, but now that I'm really trying to make a regimented routine in my life, trying to merge the business and the creative part of my life, I need to be kind of very stringent upon having a very airtight schedule, I feel, which is kind of counterintuitive to artists in general, I feel. But I think it's the right move for me to kind of be thinking about my schedule in this way. And it was just fun trying to figure out, what is going to work best in my lifestyle. And this is probably something that I'm not going to really come to a conclusion with for the next, not until the next 2 or 3 months, I'm assuming, because I think it's going to take a little bit of trial and error and a lot of experimenting. But I'm excited to start this journey. And one of the things that I discovered this past week, I did a lot of soul searching, and I was out of all the, the 4 or 5 different categories of art that I like to pursue, what's the one that's calling to me right now the most? What do I really want to focus upon? What is just the best move for me right now? What's going to fulfill me the most? What's missing in my life? And I came to the conclusion that definitely film and music. Those are the 2 things that are really missing in my life right now, that I feel like I've only kind of scratched the surface upon as far as my professional art career goes. And I think film is kind of edging out music a little bit. So, after I kind of did that really deep introspection and really kind of had that sacred conversation with myself, I was like, okay, cool. So how do I take action toward a film career? Because this is something that, is really calling to me. And, what kind of actor do I see myself as? What do I want to be typecasted as or something? I don't want to be typecasted for anything, by the way. But what's always been calling to me since a very young age is action movies. I love Van Damme, I love Arnold Schwarzenegger, I love Jet Li, Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, Keanu Reeves, Tom Cruise. I love all these guys. Gerard Butler, Brad Pitt, anyone that can throw a fist and a leg or a kick. And I'm just kind of like, I really, really kind of want to get into action movies. It's something that I've been talking about the past few years, you know, and since I've been doing the paint party business, I've always been kind of like, you know, once I get back into acting, I'm gonna get into action movies. Like, that's something I totally want to do. And I think now I'm ready to kind of embark on that journey. I'm not getting any younger. I'm 39, so I'm approaching 40, and I am definitely not getting any younger, and I kind of feel like it's now or never. So what I did this past week, like once I had that revelation, it was around like Monday or Tuesday that I kind of had this new revelation about how I want to express myself creatively and how I kind of want to go down the film route. I was like, okay, cool. So, you know, do I need to have a background in martial arts? Like, can I just go to school, like film school, and just learn how to throw punches and kicks on camera, and that's all I need to do? So, like, this past week I did a lot of research on, you know, what film stars actually have, or what action film stars actually have, like, a background in martial arts. Is it recommended? Is it a prerequisite? You know, what type of fighting styles should I educate myself in? Like, there's so many different martial arts out there. You know, kung fu, taekwondo, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, judo, karate. Like, there's so many different styles, and I have no idea how to do any of these. Nothing. I have no idea. Never thrown a kick in my life, never thrown a punch in my life. I've been like in one fight in my life, and I got my butt kicked. And it was horrible. And I didn't initiate it. I was trying to defend myself. It was just bad. But anyways, so I'm just very, very fascinated by martial arts. It's something that's always intrigued me. So I actually reached out to an acting friend of mine that's been in action movies, that's just a great stuntman. His name's Anthony Huang, and I've been on a couple of sets with him back in the day. This is like back in, I don't know, 2013, 2014. And you know, he's someone that I trust, that's been in the scene for a while. And so I reached out to him, and I'm like, hey man, I was just curious, you know, you know, is there any like acting schools in the area? Are there like any clubs or groups, like martial arts groups, that just focus on, you know, acting for film, action for film? And he was telling me that unfortunately there's like really no groups anymore, like a weekly group or something like that. So he was like, you know, you can take, I think he said, you can take workshops here and there, like whenever they come to town, or you can travel to places. But he definitely recommended to like start getting a background in martial arts. So he was like, you know, don't stay away from Krav Maga, but you know, you want to do something that looks flashy on the screen. And this past week, my mind has been all about martial arts, because my end goal is to act in action movies. So it's very interesting, and I like the idea of martial arts because, for many reasons, I think that, you know, obviously it'll give me the skills to perform on screen, which is something I definitely want to do, but then also, you know, health-wise, you know, I definitely want to be in peak physical shape, and I think that'll help me on and off the camera, obviously. And then like a deeper spiritual connection, like that mind, body, spirit kind of connection. I think that's really cool. So I'm not jumping into it right yet. I still want to do a lot more research. You know, I don't know if I can make the time commitment right now. I don't know if I want to try to like go through the belt system and try to be a black belt. I don't know if I can afford it right now, because I know classes can be expensive. I don't know what style I want to do. I need to research the styles still. And then at the same time, I actually want to be on a film set and experience what an action movie's like when you're filming it. I've been on one back in the day, but I wasn't super involved in it, so I definitely want to go on to another set and gain that experience. So yeah, it's very, very interesting. Like, that's been this past week, is just kind of like picking the brain of, you know, the martial art world, and binging a lot of YouTube videos and stuff like that. martial arts aside, I've also been thinking about, doing music again and what capacity I can do that. And I definitely want to continue learning how to play the piano. I actually got a little mini tongue drum this past week, which is kind of like a hand pan drum. I don't know if you know what those drums look like, but they're basically steel drums that kind of have like a tortoise shape to it. It's a round drum, and you just you can use mallets or you can use your hands. And I invested one. It was like $100 on Amazon, and I absolutely love it. The tones that come out of that thing are absolutely amazing. It's very soothing, very calming, and I want to use that just as like a spiritual practice every morning after I meditate or something. So there's definitely health benefits to that, and then I definitely want to write some music on it, and I'll probably do like another YouTube video at some point about this little tongue drum. It's awesome. I absolutely love it. So I got that. I've been practicing piano a little bit, and then I have so many different ideas for painting concepts and some nonfiction books I want to write, and just some other YouTube things I want to try out. But I'm still trying to figure out if I can kind of nibble away at each thing at the same time. Like, I'm trying to figure out if that's who I am as a person, if that's what I should be doing, if I'm spreading myself too thin. I'm really trying to check inward and figure that out. But what I did discover, and this is really cool, and my brother-in-law Andy uses this software system. I discovered this software system called Asana, which is kind of like a Trello. I've never used Trello, but basically the same type of software systems where basically you can organize your creative projects by tasks. And I just started using it literally yesterday, but I am already in love with this software. I'm a software guy. I definitely need to organize my thoughts, at the computer. And then when I'm on the go, I like having an app that I can quickly open on my phone and just kind of write things in real quick. So I discovered this app. My brother-in-law uses it. I absolutely love it. And I'm already kind of organizing different projects. And we'll see if that kind of helps out with my productivity at all. I think it will. And I'm just really excited about that software too. I'm actually going to start plugging in and doing more work on that software after I record this podcast. So that's basically everything that's going on since the past week. The business is still going pretty good. We're actually moving into our busy season. The spring and the fall tends to be our busy season. So we're just getting out of the winter, thank God. And now we're going to start booking some more paint parties now that the weather's nicer outside. So I'm really excited about that. And I just, I don't know if it's the springtime, if it's because it's warmer weather outside. I don't know if it's because we just turned the clocks ahead or something. But I feel really, really excited. I'm on fire, and I have more energy just in the past week. And I don't know if it's probably because I'm bringing creativity back in my life. I definitely feel my energy levels rising a bit, and I just feel more positive in general. So I'm really excited. But we're going to cut it short today. Actually, we're at 13 minutes. Oh, my goodness. Thank you guys for listening this long. I really appreciate you guys. But yeah, that's pretty much all I want to say today. I should probably get to work, so I'll leave you guys alone. Okay, that's about it. So if you haven't heard of our Patreon page, that'd be great if you could subscribe. That is a way to support the podcast. So if you like what you hear, definitely check us out on Patreon. You can visit our Patreon page by going to www.patreon.com/JJArtworks. And then also, if you could please visit our official website at www.JJArtworks.com. That'd be great, and you can learn about our brand and all the services that we offer. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it, and I look forward to talking to you guys in episode 10 next week. Have a good one, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.